I'm this nigga like to call me Tanner, and that's cool because it's the homie. I'm from Chicago, Southside Chicago,
All right.
and a change of scenery. You know what I mean?
Being from Chicago, with all the gun violence that's going on over there, the gang violence, I mean, it's just crazy. What do you feel about what's going on in Chicago right now?
Like it's not really no different than nothing I've known. You know what I'm saying? So it's just regular. You feel?
That's normal shit. That's regular shit to you.
It's just regular. Yeah, it's just regular shit that goes on. You know, shit happens.
These things are prevalent in the inner cities. Cities like Chicago, LA, and New York, down in Atlanta, Texas. How do we get out of that? How do we get out of that mind frame that we have to turn to gangs in order to...
opportunities. Like gangs come from lack of opportunities.
Okay.
You want to be accepted somewhere. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And also that comes with family structure, yo. Like, you know what I'm saying? Family structure is a big thing.
Okay.
If nowadays there's no, you don't have the two-parent homes and things like that, which, might I add, I'm not going to say exactly, but it's about around 70% almost of young black children grow up without both biological parents in the home. It's the highest among any community. We always either have a step-parent or no other second parent at all.
One-parent households are a contributing cause to the demise of minorities in the cities.
100%, because, I mean, for one... and not saying that just because you have two parents you're going to turn out good, but what I'm saying is that it gives you more opportunity when you have both parents in the home.
So basically what you're saying is no matter where you grow up, no matter what your parental guidance is or situation is or household circumstance is that you still have to make the choice to do something different.
Well, yeah, of course you still have to make the choice regardless. Yes, of course, because that's your, but that's what I'm saying is that usually that choice comes from seeing, and that's what I'm saying by knowing better.
Okay.
And so the thing is that if you have people in the home that aren't showing you those kinds of things, you probably aren't going to do those kinds of things.
Okay.
Like,
Okay.
And so that's what I always tell people. Like, if you have two parents that are doctors and they raise a kid that's a doctor, people aren't really shocked. They're like, oh wow, that's amazing. But then you have two parents that are gang members or drug dealers, and then you wonder why the kid turns out the way, oh, why didn't you just turn out different? Well, it's the same concept. Like, when you go bad or good. Like, if you have two good parents and they, it's...
But what about in those inner cities where you got good kids that turn bad because of peer pressure like you mentioned,
yes,
right?
because,
like you mentioned, it's all across the globe.
Yeah.
Okay, in most cases, it does come from poverty.
Yeah.
It comes from the lack of parental guidance in the household.
Combination,
and broken households.
Yes.
Right? So now you have a group of children grow up admiring the streets. The lack of family bondage is what pushes kids to the street to do things that they might not necessarily do if they came up in a good home. So, so to me, it's understandable how someone could choose the route that's probably not a good route. There is opportunity out there, like you said, to do better. You just as an individual have to do it. I always go back to self-accountability. No matter how much the government is systematically oppressing us as a people, or no matter how low the ceiling is for us as a nation, the bottom line is that we can still do better. Right now, we're lounging. We're taking care of business, but there's people out there that are in school, in classes right now, who are busting their brains open, you know what I'm saying, to get that extra $10,000 a year.
And literally, that's literally how you just said. You went and you said that you bring up self-accountability, but then you also went back to the way to change it, and the way that you have to bring about the self-accountability in a person.
Absolutely.
Is by the education. So it always goes back to what I say about you can't do better till you know better.
Absolutely.
And so the thing is that you can't tell somebody to have self-accountability if they've never been taught that.
25 years ago, I would have concurred with you 100%. Now I can only give you 45%. And the reason why is because we live in a day and age where modern technology is at the touch of a finger.
Yeah.
Okay, information is there all day, every day. It's all about what you choose as an individual to acclimate yourself toward. If you like gang lifestyle material, then you're going to attract to that. If you like pornographic material, you're going to attract to that. If you like educational material, you're going to attract to that. You got a lot of kids that are just gamers. Then you got those men that are scientifically using these computers at their disposal to become geniuses damn near.
Yeah.
So I stay with the accountability piece because I know that with a smidgen of a chance, anything is possible.
Now, where are those kids that you're talking about actually coming from? Those kids are coming from places with opportunity. Usually those kids come from private schools and things like that. There's not a bunch of genius kids that are coming out of Compton.
I beg to differ. They're diamonds in the rough to me.
No, that's what I'm saying.
They're geniuses in these inner cities.
You're right.
However, they just have not been polished, or they haven't been given the opportunity to excel.
You're 100% right.
So what were the downfalls? What were the obstacles that you saw coming up as a single, coming up in a single parent home?
I mean, when I was younger, it didn't feel like I was disadvantaged for real.
True. You don't notice that. Yeah.
Me and my mama was like around the same age too, type shit. So it was like, all right, my life is cool. Like I'm just with my homie every day. You know what I mean? So it wasn't like horrible. Like I didn't have the worst life ever. You know what I mean? Like.
But do you think that if you had a father in the household, a parent being there, it would have influenced, or coerced you or guided you on a different path where you probably would have been somewhere else in life?
Ain't no way to say that it wouldn't. You know what I mean? Like, it really wasn't like, I don't feel like it was a bad thing, for real. Because I wouldn't be who I am today if I had both of them in the crib. You know what I mean? And I wouldn't have had to grow, you know what I'm saying, and none of that type of shit. Like, all the shit that you have to go through early that a lot of people don't go through until they, you know what I'm saying, parents and shit. We got that out the way early. So, like, I really don't feel disadvantaged at all, though. You know what I'm saying? So I don't feel like handicapped or nothing. I don't want it to seem like I'm looking for, like, no sympathy type shit, you know what I mean? Because, like, I grew up cool, for real.
Okay, and that's an interesting way to look at it, because I've never really spoken to anyone who came up in a single parent home who is not bitter in some regard.
Yeah, nah, I'm not bitter. Like, I'm straight, for real.
Do you think that your environment influenced who you are, what you are, and where you are?
Yeah. Yeah, because if it wasn't for my environment, I wouldn't have the courage to do a lot of the shit that I do. You know what I mean? Like, I wouldn't have ever came here. You feel me? Like, ever. Right. You feel me? Type shit. Like, I would have never met this nigga, for real. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And shit like that. Like, my environment brushed me, it polished me, you know what I'm saying? But just the way that I deal with shit, you know what I'm saying? The way I learn to deal with shit, because shit is going to always happen. That's life, you know what I'm saying? Right. Shit is always going to happen. So, like, the way I deal with shit and I progressed in how I deal with shit is, you know what I'm saying, what I'm proud of the most, you know what I'm saying? And what I still try to, you know what I'm saying, get better at. Like, because if I can get better at just dealing with shit, you know what I'm saying, dealing with the shit that happens that's out of my control, you know what I'm saying, like, that's just letting go, and you know what I'm saying, just doing the most I can do, you feel me?
Speaking with you behind the scenes, I know a little bit more about you.
Yeah.
And coming from the lifestyle you come from, to speak like that and to stay positive, to find something good out of something that may not be as rosy, peachy cream, and cherry, you moving on, man. You're doing something with it.
Yeah.
So that's encouraging.